What's going on YouTube? JClarkTheJUMPER here, and today I'm going to be dropping some of Michael Jordan's vertical leap secrets that have helped him get to where he is today. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, check out my other videos, check out the merch, support the Do the Impossible movement. Right, so when we think of Michael Jordan, a lot of us think of cool basketball shoes, flashy game, above the rim, and of course, slam dunks. Michael Jordan was known as His Airness and was known to wow the crowd with his amazing leaping ability and almost forever in the air hang time style, above the rim play. Whatever it was, Michael Jordan was special, and he definitely used that attribute in his game, and that made him one of the greatest basketball players ever. Now, yesterday when I was working on my last YouTube video, I was planning on dropping some motivational quotes from some of my favorite videos and athletes, and I stumbled upon a video of Michael Jordan talking about his jump training and what he did when he was a kid. And it was kind of interesting. I will drop the clip from my training video here. Check it out.
I used to work on jump. I used to just try to jump and try to dunk. And I guess if you exercise that muscle to that activity, somehow it's going to improve.
Michael Jordan talks about riding the bicycle. Now, the reason why that's a big deal, I've talked about this over and over again, is this concept of strength to weight ratio. Being strong yet being light. So the heavier you are, the more force you have to overcome to get into the air. So if you're riding the bicycle and you know, keeping up with your fitness, your cardio, you're keeping your body weight down or body weight to a comfortable weight to function, you don't have to apply more force to get up in the air. So that's the first tip right there, is that cardio. Next, he talks about the big one, which is jumping. He didn't really talk about specific exercises. Michael Jordan wasn't doing vertical leap programs or anything like that. He worked on his jumping. A lot of times people ask me, what is the best exercise for jumping? And the answer itself is jumping. The more you do something, the better you're gonna get at it. Now, I'm gonna use this story. In 2012, when I was training for the Olympic trials in track and field, I got strong. My main focus was just to be as strong as possible. I wanted to be one of the strongest jumpers out there because I thought being as strong as possible would, you know, make me the best jumper. And I spent almost too much time in the weight room because my numbers were ridiculous. We're talking 99th percentile for my weight, and what I ultimately noticed is it was not transferring over into my jumps. I wasn't jumping further, I was just getting stronger. So there definitely is a limit in terms of strength helping you get to a certain level of jumping. And ultimately, if you want to get better as a jumper, you need to work on your jumps. Whether it's, you know, you're working on slam dunking, you know, spikes, long jump, triple jump, high jump, whatever your craft is, you need to work on that and get better at that. Use the weight room as a supplement to help you get there. But jumping, there's no replacement for jumping. Jumping is going to be the best thing to do to help become a better jumper. There was one other point I would like to mention before I get to the last tip. Michael Jordan talked about his vertical leap in regards to basketball. Now, this is specifically for basketball players, but it does relate to the other sports, like I said in my previous story. Jumping high does not automatically make you a good basketball player. It's a skill that you use within your sport. So ultimately, whatever you're working on, whatever your craft is, not only jump specific, but if you play basketball, if you play volleyball, if you play, I don't know. If you're working on your craft to become the best player you possibly can be, that's going to put you in a position where you can thrive. It's not, you know, let me get a 50-inch vertical leap and I will be good, because that means absolutely nothing. Some of my dunk colleagues are the most uncoordinated, awkward basketball players ever, and I see them get invited to these, you know, these celebrity games, and it's just, you know, it's terrible because they don't play basketball. So it's not a end all be all, but if you have the skill and you have the vertical leap like Michael Jordan did and use it together, it definitely can benefit and take your game to the next level. Last tip, one thing that I do want to mention, when I was about 14 years old, I purchased a book that kind of got me on my vertical leap journey. There's a couple, but this one was one of the big ones, Jump Attack by Tim Grover. And if you guys don't know who Tim Grover is, he is a trainer to the pros. He's trained Michael Jordan, he's trained Dwayne Wade, and the likes of many others. And in this book, Tim Grover, in his Jump Attack, the program utilizes something known as post-activation potentiation. Now, post-activation potentiation, very similar to kind of the French contrast style of training that I've been playing around with and working with, utilizes this combination of strength training with high velocity movements or plyometric movements. So you would go into a full back squat, and then right as you rack the weight, you would go into standing vertical jumps. So utilizing that concept to kind of wake up the nervous system, as well as, training the muscles that correlate with the specific movements that you're doing. So I really enjoy that. I really recommend, looking into French contrast, looking into post-activation potentiation. There's a lot of things that you can kind of look up to kind of get into that style, but this is, from the trainer of Michael Jordan, who was using that technique. So it's something I've definitely been using. I used in the past and kind of getting back to it now that I'm getting healthy and, getting ready to get in shape to make another run for doing the impossible. So there you have it. Michael Jordan worked on his cardio for his strength to weight ratio. He was jump specific, focusing on jumps that correlated to what he was working on, as well as the post-activation potentiation. I really hope this video helps. I really hope you guys got something out of it that you guys can use into your training. If you did, hit the thumbs up. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, comment below. I will check the comments. I try to respond to everybody. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and support the Do the Impossible movement. That's all I got for you guys today. Have a good one.